Hi guys, welcome to Soothing Sundays. We're going to start with a neurological reprogramming tool technique, and then I'll get into answering your questions about mental health, relationships, narcissists, any of the personality disorders. And yeah, so every Sunday we do Soothing Sundays, and it's just to recalibrate for the week. It's a little antidote to the Sunday, the Sunday scaries, and just preparing your mind for the best week possible. Your mind for the best week and month possible, because we're going into a new month, and we're just going to regulate your nervous system and then answer your questions. So last week, the neurological reprogramming tool was like, hey, let's go all in and really put yourself, like, that self-concept shift that you're just like feeling into whatever it is that you're creating in your life. And I definitely want you to keep doing that. That's a basis a lot of my content is that, hey Rob, how are you? Nice to see you here. How have you been? That is the basis of a lot of my content, is that if you want a new outcome, first you have to have the self-concept of, like, what are your standards? How do you expect to be treated? How do you expect your body, your finances, everything to look? So we have to have that in place, and having those new standards, and also having the belief that, like, oh, not like, okay, I want this, but I don't know how. No, this is what gets to be true for you. And I want you to think from that place of, like, and think and know and feel from that place. It's like, I get to have healthy, safe, calm relationships at work, in my personal life, and my body gets to be radiantly healthy, whatever it is, instead of focusing your mind on the struggle. So we're continuing to do that always. So I want that always running in the background instead of scarcity, lack, and fear. So I'm always helping you guys reprogram your brain to, abundance, prosperity, and whatever it is that you want in life. And knowing that if you want it, it's supposed to be yours, and you can have it, like, literally at any time. So there's that. And then the other one I'm going to talk about today, because we were talking about it last week, is the physiological sigh. And it really does quickly regulate your nervous system. Hi, Rocky. So it's called the physiological sigh. And anytime throughout the week that you're just like, feeling a little intense, or you're just, or tense, I mean, if you're about to go to bed, or you just need to just like wind down really quickly, all you do is you breathe in really deeply. Then when you get to the top and you feel like you can't breathe in anymore, you take a really sharp inhale in more, and then you take a very long exhale, and through your mouth, and just really empty out your lungs. And if you could do that at least, I would say, I suggest 5 times, it works because you're focusing all of your attention on the sound and movement of your breath, but it really does help reprogram the nervous system. So again, it's a big deep inhale through your nose, and then another sharp inhale, and then you exhale. And you could stick out your tongue. This actually sticking out your tongue helps regulate your nervous system. It literally drops your cortisol levels, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm here to answer your questions about personality disorders, and anything else like that. Any type of questions. I put my bare feet on the earth, feel so good. Yes, that is a very good neurological reprogramming thing. Is one, to just be outside, right? But putting your feet on the earth, it's called earthing. And then even if you have to be indoors, some people get those. I actually have one in my office. My feet are on it right now. Those earthing mats can be really helpful when you need to be inside. Techniques applied, progress in process. Yes. Tongues out, exhale. Yeah, it does work, and like, people have known this for a long time, a lot of ancient, like the Chinese, and it's in Chinese medicine, and the, old breathing practices in yoga traditions. It's called lion's breath in yoga, and you'd be like, and it like feels kind of funny, but it really works. I also go into the forest. It helps your soul. It really does. That's awesome that you have access to a forest like that. It really does. And yeah, like, let me know what your guys' neurological, like, what you do to recenter, regroup, and like really regulate your nervous system. And then also, if you have any wins for the week, we go over those all the time. So if you have any wins, like, hey, I just made this little improvement, or it could be something big, but it's also really important to celebrate your wins, no matter how small or big you think they are, because when you focus on what's going right and what you did well, you create more of that. And we're just so hard on ourselves. So I'm always inviting you guys here to just, like, even if you think it's the tiniest win, I'll sit back and listen to your program and wait for the chat. Anyone know? No, Rob, let us know now. Anytime. You can say whatever you want at any time. And you can put yourself first too, by the way. That's the other thing. I think that when it could be, and I've had it before, like a more codependent personality, like you put other people's needs first. You get to be the main character in your life, guys. And that includes like putting it out there. I did get a moderator. BPT Bob is going to help us. He'll come in a few minutes later, but because it got a little crazy last time. Captain, prayer is always wonderful. Prayer and like gratitude. So you put out that prayer, and then you're grateful that it's on its way, whatever you prayed for. Oh, hell yeah, gonna hate me. Okay, I don't know what that means. This is this it's more than a motivational channel. Bones, to answer your question, I'm a therapist and I help people reprogram their brain and nervous system to have whatever they want in life, to regulate themselves, to release old trauma, and to have the best relationships. And I also specialize in personality disorders and helping people have healthy, strong relationships and connections. Rocky, if you say negative things about yourself, that energy destroys your body. Always talk positively about yourself. Yes. And literally, they have done studies now that prove that your cells are always listening to you. And we know this. Like sometimes you'll think of something and you'll get the chills, or you get butterflies in your stomach, or so we've been knowing this, but I do think certain industries are in place to suppress how powerful your mind is. And so that is very true, Rocky. And also with disease, like people that worry about certain diseases or getting sick or whatever are more prone to illness than people that focus on health. And even people that like had some kind of serious condition, when they focused on health, they got better faster. Isn't that crazy? Like your mind is so powerful. And so, Bones, this is a channel that I really want to empower you guys to know how powerful your mind is, and that you can literally have anything that you want in life, even if it seems impossible, even if it's been this way for years. It can be different starting right now. I promise you. Let's see. Abel. Well, I'm a therapist. Maybe we could chat. I don't take insurance though, Abel. Which is better, introvert or trust issue? What does that mean? Leah, which better, introvert or trust issue? Not sure what that means. Rocky, I have ADHD and bipolar, have been to many classes. How are you managing that? Because those are both things that can be very managed. Bones, oh wow, great, because I suffer from a lot of past trauma. Well, you're in the right place, and get angry very fast. That, you know what, Bones, that anger is just energy, and it's trying to be released. And I actually, a lot of people, we suppress our anger and we're told being angry is bad. Anger is just like a transitional emotion, and it's actually a lot better than, like, because the fear-based emotions, remember I told you guys about letting go? So letting go, and it has the structure of emotions, starting from like guilt and shame, which are the lowest, and then all the way up to love and peace. And so anger is in the middle, and it's actually meant to propel you. It's like, you know what? I don't fucking live like this anymore. I don't want that treatment anymore. So it's actually a good thing. And a lot of us are told to suppress our anger or get rid of it. Use your anger. Be curious about it. What are you angry about? And I'm not talking about on the surface, it's one thing, like you get triggered really easily, but there's a gold mine of stuff under that anger that you can explore. And you could just do that from journaling. And that anger is just showing you that you need to release something. Plus the alcohol doesn't help. So if you're using alcohol, you're probably trying to suppress your anger. Let yourself be angry. Let yourself feel your emotions. And that's what letting go is. It talks about. It's like, just have the emotion, whatever it is, the anger, the wanting to drink, just let yourself feel it for a second. You probably got told that you had to suppress your anger, or your feelings and thoughts and experience didn't matter. So that makes you angry. And then you have this desire unconsciously maybe to suppress it with alcohol. And some of us don't even know that, we have these compulsive behaviors because we're trying to numb something out. And it's okay. I want you like, I'm even this space right now, I'm creating for you to, be here and express what you want to express and, be supportive. Abdel, I was thinking of getting mental help and you appear. Wow, that's crazy. See, I'm telling you, what do I always say? When the student is ready, the teacher arrives. Or the teacher appears. The teacher was always there. So, but like if you go to my linked tree, it's like in my channel, there's a link in it. You can see how to get in contact with me, Abel, and then I'll let you know if we're a good fit to work together in terms of what I specialize in. But if not, I can steer you in the right direction for sure. Captain Cobb, stress drops the immune system. Yes, it does. That's why I'm teaching you guys these things, because your mind and body are so interconnected. So if you can get your mindset recalibrated to literally the outcome that you want, your health will be better, your wealth, relationships, career, everything gets better. Rocky, talk about multiple personality disorders. Okay, I could talk about that. So it's called Rocky, it's called dissociative identity disorder. And where people literally, their brain and brain chemistry and physiological, why can I not say that word? Physiologically, they have these shifts that, it's almost like a phenomenon. And like, you can literally, they've done studies where one personality is a gay man with HIV, and then literally they switch into another personality and they're like this straight guy living in suburbia, and there's literally no trace of any HIV or anything. And same with like cancer. Like one woman will have like cancer and she's all stressed out or whatever, and then the other personality is like this hippie that is like totally, it's just like you cannot detect it in the body. So think about how powerful your mind is to be able to do that. And it is a way, it's a very intense way for the mind to bifurcate, because it does come from trauma. So for you to like literally disassociate into a completely different person. And we all disassociate, or maybe we have on some level, when through alcohol, or just like, zoning out, or binge watching stuff, because we've all done it before, but it's just on a very deep level. Rocky. Rob, thanks, Lauren. Glad to hear that you put I'm glad to hear that, to put yourself first. Yes, it's very important to put yourself first. I've done therapy for about 3 years. My therapist was very similar to your cadence, tone, and age range. Very comforting to connect with you. Oh, that's nice to hear. Deal with it being alone. I deal with it by being alone in peace. Yeah, being like by yourself is kind of overrated. I'm sorry, not overrated, underrated, because a lot of people have a fear of being alone, or like they're being judged or whatever. So it's nice that you can take time for yourself, Abdel. Rocky, I'm on meds, but I have bad days, but I try my best. Yeah, and my personal theory is I don't love meds long term. I just think that they are way over recommended. And so if you follow me on TikTok, I promote a lot of Dr. Daniel Amen's supplements. They're like by Brain MD, but he is a psychiatrist who like actually studies the brain. And he realized, he's like, we are doctors and we are prescribing all these medications for an organ that we never even look at. And it's true. Like if you go to a psychiatrist, they'll be like, I'm sad or I'm anxious. And they'll be like, here's some drugs. Here's a prescription for some drugs. There's no working through it. There's no, trauma like there's nothing going on. So, and I do think that it makes it worse because you're suppressing it for a long time. Plus, the side effects really suck. So, if you're on them right now, that's fine, but keep doing the work, Rocky, that goes along with that. Journaling, doing coaching or therapy if you can. But you're in the right place. I'm glad you're here. James Green, 20 years, Army infantry. I suffer from survivors. Yes, that's very common. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for your service. And that is a very common thing. And so with survivor's guilt, it's there's so much to it. Like when I work with people with survivor's guilt, it gets so deep, but it is a natural trauma response to have that. And then what I do with survivor's guilt is like this process of just holding space, like when I do one-on-one sessions, like holding space for the experience and just to not suppress it, because there's so much attempt to suppress things around survivor's guilt, and letting yourself know that, like, I walk people through, like, just like, feel everything that you're feeling. Allow yourself to feel every single thing that you're feeling. Let it just sit there and like hold it, and like not hold it, but just like let yourself experience it instead of suppressing it. Then what I personally do is have people just start to say to themselves that it's okay to be here. It's okay to be here. And I don't have control over what happened to other people. And really like knowing and trusting and believing that you have control over, yourself, and that there's no need to, because guilt and shame are very like low energy. They really weigh you down. And so it's not doing anything to hold on to the guilt, right? And really being okay with releasing the guilt, because unconsciously part of the brain is thinking like, if I have guilt about this, then it's like that maybe I could bring them back, or maybe that it's like a transactional way, like I'm paying for being here, because like the part of the brain thinks I don't deserve to be here. So if I have this guilt, I'm just paying in guilt for myself to be here. And you don't have to do that. You get to be alive just because you get to be you. You guys get to have whatever you want in life just because you're you. So can you slowly release that and know that you don't have to pay for anything because you survived with guilt? James, thank you so much for sharing that and your vulnerability. Rob, last sessions were VA back in 2000 to 2015. So there are great refreshers and retooling. Last session, okay. What made me want to be a therapist? I always knew I was going to be a therapist, even when I was little. I just like helping people. And then, I've recovered from my own trauma, and I just love the process of watching people transform. It's the most amazing thing to me, and I love it. And I just think like whatever you're born to do, it's like you'll just love it. You know what I mean? You're just drawn to it, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, how can you listen to people? And I'm like, it's the best thing. I love helping people. I love holding space for people, for them to like transform. And I guess essentially it's about transformation for me. Leah, I don't trust everyone around me is good or bad. Well, I think it's good to have discernment, Leah, right? Because a lot of times when we come from trauma, or just in general, we could be way too trusting because we want to be loved and all this stuff. So we're like, oh yeah, well I'm a trustworthy person, everyone else is, and then we get hurt that way. But then sometimes we could be hyper vigilant as well. And so that is so specifically, like, you have to ask yourself, am I being hyper vigilant here? Am I being avoidant? Like, do you have avoidant personality, or do you tend to be more avoidant? Like, you keep people at a distance, like you want to be close, but when someone's too close, it's threatening to you. So you start to create distance. Is that you? Or do you have anxious attachment, where you like want to be close and you want all this connection, and then the minute they're not there, you're just like, oh, I'm anxious. I need to talk to them. I need them to text me. So that will inform you of where you are on that spectrum, Leah, in terms of like, is it good or bad to not trust people? I think, the word trustworthy is that for a reason. People get to earn your trust and be worthy of it, and worthy of your trust and energy. So, really asking yourself, are they worthy of trust? Leah, that's a great question. Abdel, I suffer from soldier fatigue. Okay. Um, that it would depend on what your goals are in terms of like what how I'd be able to help you. But like, what are your symptoms, Abdel? Rob, I'm sober also. Nice. No pharmaceuticals. Woo! And that's like that's tough at first. That's a great thing to be that's a great thing to celebrate, Rob. Yes. I love that. Very good. How many days or years Rocky look like? Okay. Bones, appreciate your feedback. Yes, I suppress it with alcohol, and that's a problem now. So I'm kind of not drinking, but at the moment it's been a few weeks. I appreciate your answer. Oh God. Well, you know what? I love that. You're okay. You're showing up. You're here, right? You somehow attracted my channel into your life, and especially I go live twice a week. So think about that. I think that that's a lot of good. And then the fact that you're working on not drinking to suppress those things. And I don't have a big stance of like, sober, not sober. I mean, I don't think drugs really are good for your brain at all. But like, in terms of drinking, is it like, are you enjoying it with a meal? Are you suppressing it? That's what matters to me. And literally, a lot of people, they stop drinking and then they just addicted to something else. So that's what I'm saying. It's not really like the substance. It's you knowing that you're numbing out and taking contrary action. So I love that, Bones. Like, proud of you. Because you're very aware of what needs to change and you're making steps towards that. So, and give yourself credit for that. Again, like, what wins are you celebrating? Give yourself more credit for the things that you're doing right and moving in the direction that you want to go into. I've also suffered with wanting to call it a day that constant battle. I've just day by day. Yes. And it's just like, you know what? One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, sometimes 1 minute at a time. And it's like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, what contrary action can I take? If I'm feeling anxious, how can I soothe myself? If I'm this, it's like just creating that little bit of pause and then maybe doing one of those breathing exercises, any of them that I've taught you, but the one today is like a big deep inhale, then a sharper inhale, and then exhale as long and slow as you can. And doing that and then making a decision. Okay, what can I do different? Maybe I could go for a walk. Maybe just total contrary action. So we're not repeating old patterns. ADHD meds give me the shifts that a downfall. Am I reading that right? My ADHD meds give me the shit, sorry. That's a downfall. Plus, I struggle to sleep. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ADHD meds. And like, I've done videos about this. I think ADHD and ADD, like they can be your superpower. It's just, those things are just ADD and ADHD. It's just your brain actually being able to cope with a lot of stimulus. And it comes from a lot of times in childhood when there was a lot going on and there was a lot for your brain to like metabolize. Your brain is just so smart. It's an amazing organ. So it was just like your brain trying to take in like a bunch of different stimulus at once. Like I talk about this, like I put one shoe on, then I answer a text, then I start cleaning dishes, and then I get everything done and pretty efficiently, but it's not like in the right order sometimes. But once we can just be okay with it, this is my opinion, and this is not medical advice, but maybe you're seeing this because it's time to get off of those meds. It could be this is your sign, and you could finally get off the meds because it does really, it's a huge biodisruptor in my opinion, and it does dysregulate you and it is hard to sleep. And if your gut is your second brain, so if your gut is doing all of those things, like think about what it's doing to your nervous system. Your body's letting you know, like, I don't really like this. Let's see, Greg, a lot of mental illness can be caused by, yeah, some of it is like parasites. That like, and you could take black wormwood is the I think the best one, and they have this tincture called black wormwood and clove. Um, and you could just put it in juice or water. So I would recommend mixing it with juice, and it will, you do that regularly and it will clear out everything. That's the one that really, and pumpkin seed oil does that too. So yeah, we want to take care of our gut, like kind of what I was saying to Rocky as well, because it is our second brain. And checking for parasites. And at any time, I know it sounds kind of gross, guys, but at any time you can get parasites. You could get them from traveling. And like in other countries, doing a parasite cleanse is normal. And so I would recommend, I do one whether I feel like I have anything or not, just at least every 3 months, just that wormwood, black wormwood and clove mixture. It's really good. It's not going to do anything except, and it's very gentle. It's not like anything, that and pumpkin seed oil. Abdel, one time I slept outside and woke up, the sky was filled full of the smallest stars possible, separated by the smallest space possible. Oh, I see what you're saying. So were you hallucinating? Were you having like active hallucinations? And that is normal for, it's a trauma response. So it can happen. And were you anxious? How long did it last? But if, like hallucinations like that can happen. And it's just your brain trying to process things, and it's not processing it. It's like, when your phone is, or something's buffering, it's the same type of thing. Rocky, I wish I had a therapist like you. Mine looks, oh, who cares what your therapist looks like? Is your therapist doing a good job? Avoidant people, most are shit. Avoidant people are difficult, right? Because avoidance, a lot of them, they want closeness, but closeness is also very threatening to them. So they'll get a little close. They'll even love bomb sometimes. Most narcissists are avoidant. So they'll get close and they'll get away. And then that's where the devalue with a narcissist, that's what they'll do. They'll be like, bring you in, and they'll be like, oh, get away. Or they'll start like saying like, I don't even like you, or just whatever the devaluing thing is. So, yeah, but it's really difficult to be around. It's hard on your soul if you're, wanting connection, or if you have anxious attachment. Avoidant people tend to attract each other, and it's never good. Leah, too many people was betrayed. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, see, okay, perfect. That's good insight, Leah. So you actually are very aware. That's great self-awareness. So can you look at that? Because when that happens to you, when you got betrayed by people, can you tell yourself and your inner children, like, okay, yeah, that happened to me, but not everyone's like that. And in fact, in creating a new self-concept, like, you know what, I only attract really healthy, safe relationships. I attract people who give me the love that I so freely give. And I'm a trustworthy person. So of course I attract trustworthy people, just shifting it like that. Because it sounds like you want to be around trustworthy people and have connection. So that's a good sign, Leah. Bones, thank you. I needed to hear that. And yes, I'm going to stay on that path. Good. I can't help. I can't keep running from the pain. Yes. Time to face it. Like, I love that. You're welcome. And like, and thank yourself, Bones. Like, that is, I'm here to help you like distribute the information, but it's like you should thank yourself, because if you're receiving it, that's the most important thing. Sometimes I talk to people till I'm blue in the face and they're like, no, but you're ready, Bones. You're ready to receive this information. So I think that you should celebrate this and be really proud of yourself. And you don't want to, you're saying, I can't keep running from the pain. You don't want to, and there's nothing to run from. You just get to release it. I would recommend, if you're not working, I mean, even if you are working with someone, Letting Go by Dr. David R. Hawkins helps people release. It's just it's a wonderful book. But and I would listen to it on audio if you can, just so you could like follow along and like just release those things. Because it's not about like healing, or you just need to let certain things go that we've been holding on to. Rob, top tier for life. Metal first read. Yes, chat. It's possible. I've put in decades of work, battles fought, battles won, both as a combat and civilian dad, spouse. It takes a lot of work and sober support system therapy. I love that. Yes, it does. And look at you doing the work. Look at you showing up for yourself, even when it's difficult. And even, I know that things aren't perfect. You have other things that you're working through, and but that's it. It's not about just like having things be perfect. And like, it's like, we're always doing the work and we're always making or improving every area of our life. Not that something's like bad and it needs to be fixed, but it's like you get to constantly evolve and be better, like with your health, wealth, relationships, and career, because we're meant to evolve. We're like evolving beings. We're not supposed to be stagnant. It's uncomfortable to be stagnant, you know? Hey, J-Ro, how are you? Hello. So stay tuned with Lauren and review the content. Oh, thank you. My former therapist had all these techniques and advice like Lauren, and I'm finally good and stabilized enough to not fall into any traps. Again, like that's something to celebrate, Rob. I love it. And that's really inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's so inspirational, because when you're in it and you're numbing out and you're like, oh, it just feels like, is this ever going to come together? And I promise you, you're seeing this right now, because it is. It's all coming together for you. And the more you make yourself the main character in your life, the better your life gets, and the people around you that you care about, their lives get better, because you're not, you're putting yourself first. And so I love that you are looking at yourself in this way. Rob and Bones. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, get the book and let me know how it is. I'm here every Sunday and Wednesday. So yeah, when you read when you start reading it, I've read this book and listened to this book so many times. And every time I do, letting go, it's like I learned something new, and it's like I didn't think about it from that way, or it's wonderful. Is Botox good? I don't know. I think it's fine. I mean, they were trying to say that it messes with empathy, but there are no real solid things on that. So I think you're good. Joe Wolf, greetings. Hi, Bones. I don't see the ring on your finger. Finding relationships hard as therapist? No, I don't think so. And if no, what are the complications? I don't know. I don't have any relationship complications. I'm kind of selective. I think that's a good thing. But I don't have any relationship complications. And just like I tell you guys, the people, not even just like with relationships or romantic relationships, your friends, your coworkers, all this thing, like keep the people around you, the energy around you, as good and loving, as supportive as possible. You have that. And even if you just start to like, because some people are like, oh, well, I'm at work and in this shitty situation, start to visualize. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but like Neville Goddard talks a lot about this, and just start to visualize, you know what? I had the best work environment. I have the most supportive boss and staff or whatever. And we just all, and like your world will shift. How you see things, like you change how you see things. What's that saying? What is that saying? The way you see things, if you improve the way you see things, the things you, whatever, your world starts to improve. You guys know the quote I'm talking about? It's like this old adage. You're welcome. But it really is. Everything is your self-concept and your perspective. And that is how powerful your brain is. I'm also so passionate about you guys knowing how powerful your mind is, and how your reality could switch like that in any way. I mean, you've done this before where you're like, oh, I'm thinking about something. Just like a couple of you guys were like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about getting a therapist. And it's like, okay, or I've been thinking about this. Like, your mind is very powerful. You just have to use it correctly to create what you want. Let's see. I missed one. Okay. Most people don't go inside to learn about themselves. Yes, but if you do, that's what's important. But I will say that when you start to evolve and work on yourself, and you'll just become more insightful. And then when you understand yourself, then you grow faster. And then you get over this challenge a lot faster. And then that's not a problem. You're not repeating these old patterns, and you start to outgrow certain people. they're just not a match for you anymore. It's like, especially if they're people that don't work on themselves, you're like, how do there's nothing to connect here with. And that's what the thing about their narcissists is, that they do not want you to go to therapy or do any type of self-improvement, because one, they don't, because they are very afraid of looking at themselves because they have so much guilt and shame. But also, if you go to therapy or do something to improve yourself, then their fear is like, oh, they'll realize what a piece of crap I am or I'm being to this person, and they'll leave me. And narcissists hate abandonment. So it's kind of like, keep working on yourself, you guys. Like, just always do something that is nourishing to you mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things, and your life will get better. And then, but people that don't work on themselves or don't want to, they're just going to kind of slough off of your life. They're just going to, or they're going to have to change to continue to be in your life. Bones, that's good. Just wondering how it is as a therapist. Oh no, I didn't take it as disrespectful. I just I think it's pretty peaceful. And then, sometimes, when I have been dating, you could obviously see my stuff, you people immediately, Google you and stuff. And it's like, it kind of saves time. Like, I've heard like a lot of, what am I saying? Like, a lot of guys that are like want to date me or whatever, and they're like, oh, you specialize in narcissism? Like, oh, okay. And then they just disappear. It's like, interesting. So I would say it's a good thing and it's a time saver. You're welcome, Rob. Lady, real world experience don't work like that. Most people. No, I'm not. And that's what I mean. Like, people that don't get it, like, they just don't get it. And so there are people that have had really difficult things. And, I will always go back to like the Kim Kardashian example, because everyone knows who she is. She has no talent. She has no anything, right? And she wanted to be on the cover of Vogue. Like, she's like a 5'2" chubby person. And it's like, that's not possible. But she wanted to be a billionaire. So she is. She wanted to be on the cover of Vogue. She's been on the cover of Vogue 20 times. So if the life is going to meet you where your beliefs are. So if you have limiting beliefs, like, doesn't work this way, then it's not going to work that way for you, babe. It's just not. But if you decide, this is why I want you guys to have healthy entitlement and understand how powerful your mind is. If you decide, like, this is how my world works for me. This is your video game, babe. This is your world, that you are the main character in your life. And you could decide, this is how my life works. This is how my life looks. This is what's in my bank account. This is the kind of life I have. Then life will meet you there. It really will. Your actual core beliefs are reflected in your reality. It's something to look at. So if there's something that you don't like, and it could be switched like that. It could be, so don't get intimidated. But if it's like, okay, I don't like this aspect, just take one. Be like, what beliefs do I have about myself that I might not be aware of? So you have a tolerance for not having the money that you want. You have a tolerance for not having the love that you want, or the health. So what is it? And can you raise your standards and be like, you know what? I always get to have this. I always get to feel safe in my relationships. I always get to have financial security and safety. Can you change your beliefs around it? Or yeah, you can sit around and be like, that's not how the real world works. Then it's not going to work that way for you, my love. Um, I like it when time, space. Question: identity is the structure of all beliefs about ourselves. Anything that has structure can be restructured. Correct. Our beliefs about ourselves, your beliefs about yourselves can absolutely be restructured. And sometimes I think inner child work is a good thing too, because sometimes we have these beliefs that are just from trauma when we were a kid. So maybe, the 8-year-old version of you was told that they're talentless and they can't do anything. So can you go back and nurture that 8-year-old version of you and be like, hey, you're like what you would tell an 8-year-old that is just wants to be loved. Or like maybe the 15-year-old version of you, I don't know, got their heart broken and that kind of stuck with you. And it's like, okay, I'm not worthy of love or someone choosing me. So that is one way to restructure your belief system, or you could just decide. But sometimes the inner child work like helps you get there, but you write everything down and you decide like, okay, here's what gets to change in my life. And yes, I'm worthy of it. If you want it, you're worthy of it. You get to have that. So, but yes, like in self-concept work, there's a great book called Psycho-Cybernetics, which is all about self-concept. And this guy talks about how some of his clients, their self-concept changed, and then they were just completely their outside world reflected that back to them. And then some clients, their self-concept did not change no matter what, and then the pattern stayed the same, or they would get worse. So fascinating book. Love that book. Okay, I'm putting you in put in a timeout. I'm like annoyed. Um, so yeah, I'm here to help you. Like if you think again, like it's almost funny, like I don't fucking care about you insulting me. Like I'm here to help people and I'm not insulted. If you ask me about myself, I would I'll answer you. But I'm more interested in helping you guys, but like please. Like it's like how much of a loser are you to think that I'm going to be offended? I'm here trying to help you. Like fuck off. um uh oh my gosh, I wouldn't not list your inadequacies. No, no. That's not nice. Um and then if it continues, I'll just like ban you from my channel and you'll like never see my content again. Let's see. Abdel, I know he needs therapy. Um It's funny because the people that need therapy that, like, troll my like this guy is, and I'm almost doing it to, like, show you guys, like, this is the type of, like, loser, like, that needs therapy the most, and then but would rather, like, come in my comment section and, like, just do, like, stuff like that. It's like, what do you I don't know, it's kinda sad. Um, thank you, Nicola. Um, oops, let me see. Oh, yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions about mental health, um Okay. Bye. Like, you're spamming me too much. But you guys got the idea. I'm blocking him now. Um, oh my god. Like, and I also think people like that, I don't know why I'm getting a sense that he's a guy. I think because he made some comment about like I wouldn't date you. But it's like the like people like that like hate women. I really do think that they hate women. Um, what is that? What is this? Anyway, um, what? Oh god. I don't know what that is or how to make that go away. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions or I'll wrap up if you guys don't. How do I make that go away? Um, but yeah, I'll be here on Wednesday at 6 p.m. And yeah, Abdel, like just go into my link tree and it'll connect to my WhatsApp and we could chat more there. Um, what is that? I don't know how to make that go away. It's annoying me. But anyway, so yeah, and we'll chat more there. And that is where my contact and like all my stuff, where my courses, anything like that. Um, keep being you. Oh yeah. Hi from Norwalk. Hi, Anthony. But anyway, I'm just wrapping up unless you guys have any. Oh, thank you, Space Time Entanglements. I love that name, by the way. Thank you for subscribing. And And like, you know, so if you have any questions now, or you could DM me. I know some people are sometimes uncomfortable. You can DM me and I'll answer your question depending on what it is there, or like I'll answer it anonymously on the live stream. And so, but I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to hold space for you. I keep talking about it. I might start a community. Um, metal, yellow, red first. I don't know what that means. Metal, yellow, red first. Um, let's see. J-Ro, you can just heal that same environment that made you sick. So should I move to another state? You can just know that moving does not solve the problem in itself. Now, if you want to, as part of your healing journey, it's like this has outgrown my situation. It's like I don't. This doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Then you can, but move from a very conscious place, not a reactive, like emotional, like this is going to solve my problem, because I promise moving won't solve the problem. So a hug from Brazil, hugging you right back. So does that make sense, J-Ro? We want to like be very intentional with moving, but not because we think it's going to solve a problem. Good question. Okay. New environments can help, but work, yeah, you have to do the inner work no matter what. We need to keep doing the inner work, because if not, your problems will follow you. You'll manifest them because you still have that feedback loop. So you're still creating that. But yeah, you guys, it's been a nice, soothing Sunday. So do that neurological reprogramming technique we talked about. Excellent questions, you guys. Yes, I would love to dig deeper with about things and issues. Yeah, like J-Ro, we can work one-on-one together. I have courses as well, but if you contact me through WhatsApp, like we can discuss if like doing one-on-one coaching or therapy would be good for you. But yeah, you always want to dig into these things all the time and journal about them and continuously release things. And there's like layers to it. It's like, oh, I didn't know it was like that. Or, you know, you're always developing new insights with yourself, which is a beautiful thing. So I love your willingness. All you really need to heal is a willingness, and everything else will fall into place. I promise you. A willingness to release the past, a willingness for things to be different. And also, what I always tell you guys is a willingness for it to be fucking easy. You don't have to suffer. I know you were told, we're brainwashed, like, oh yeah, hustle culture and all this stuff. It can be easy. I promise you guys, it could be easy. So much easier than you think. Let it be. Let yourself be taken care of. Let it all fall into place for you. And that's another thing we could work on this week. Is like, how easy can you let it be? How fun can you let it be? We support your real world professional help and advice. Thank you, Rob. Real talk and advice, no sugar. I don't sugarcoat. I don't do that. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, I try to keep it, or I do keep it as real as possible. So when you say journal, I have the journal about every single minute of the day. Sorry if that is it. Like, do you have to journal every single minute of the day? No, no, not at all. And it's like the journaling is just a tool. It's oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me? Um, so yeah, so no, you don't have to journal every minute of every day. But you want to journal like when your thoughts come up. That's why I suggest have a journal where you could write physically, and then have a journal. What do you mean by yes? And then have a journal, like sometimes even talking to your phone and just like blah 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 blah. This is what's going on for me in the note section of your phone or on the voice recording. You know, in the voice recording section now, I don't know. I just discovered this, so it could not be. It could actually be old, but like you can talk into your phone and then it'll transcribe it for you. So that's another way to journal. Like, how amazing is that? Yay. Okay, good. You can hear me. Good. So anyway, perfect. So does that make sense, J-Ro? We just want to journal when things come up. So they're not just like getting stuffed and stored or numbing them out or, because, and then also when you release that thing or you process that thing, then more could come up then. And then so you're letting all of these old patterns, like not even you digest in a way, but also you're just releasing them. Rob G, subscribe and review Miss Clayton's content to begin and or sustain your progress. Never shy to ask for help. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. That's so sweet of you. And thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm here to help you guys. So I appreciate that. And yeah, please review I have, playlists on here and to help you guys. And also if you have anything that you want me to make a video about or a video series about, let me know. I'm going to do one on, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. I'm going to do a video series on inner child work and what that looks like. Cause I do get and I have some videos on it, but I'm just going to get deeper into what that looks like. Because it is kind of like hard to do on your own, and it could bring up a lot, but it's stuff that needs to be brought up. And then once you bring it up, it's you might cry a little bit, and then you can let it go. Very good person. God bless. Beautiful. Oh, thank you, CP. Yes, I'm a CPer. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome, and yes, and I'll work on a moderator to just filter out some of the other stuff. It's a noble thing you're doing. You're welcome. Thank you. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And thank you so much. Thank you for your awesome questions. And I love hearing your guys' updates. You guys are doing amazing. And you guys, I attract people to my channel that have so much good insight about themselves and are just wanting to be the best version of themselves. And I love that. And I love you sharing your experience and your vulnerability. So thank you so much for that. And I will see you guys soon. Okay. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Sunday, and have a beautiful week. God bless you too. Everyone is going to have, this is going to be the best week ever. Okay. Mwah. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you on Wednesday.